Speak sponsored by rxcardclub.com. Get a free prescription drug card and save up to 85% on prescription drugs. rxcardclub.com. What happens to your hydration levels when you drink coffee daily? Break key takeaways. Caffeine in coffee can increase urine production, but the amount of fluid lost through urination is typically not enough to cause dehydration. Most people can safely enjoy coffee without having to worry about dehydration. Drinking more than 4 cups daily may increase the risk of mild dehydration. Break studies show that it's unlikely for moderate coffee consumption to lead to dehydration. Its reputation may stem from its mild diuretic effects, promoting water loss through the urine, or the dry mouth many coffee drinkers experience after their morning cup of joe. Break what research says about coffee and hydration. Break coffee contains caffeine, a natural stimulant that improves alertness, focus, and athletic performance. Caffeine is also a mild diuretic, which means it increases urine production. Break you may pee more frequently, but research shows you take in more fluid by drinking a cup of coffee than you lose through urination. For habitual coffee drinkers, coffee is just as hydrating as water. According to research.It takes the body between 1 and 4 days to build a tolerance to the effects of caffeine, including its diuretic effect. So, regular coffee drinkers are less likely to experience increased urine output than those who drink the occasional cup of coffee. Break that doesn't necessarily mean you should reach for a caffeinated beverage whenever you feel thirsty. When it comes to caffeine consumption, moderation is key. Break consuming 4 or more cups of coffee daily and number 148, or more than 400 milligrams, mg, of caffeine and number 148, increases urine output for habitual and casual coffee drinkers, which may be mildly dehydrating. Research findings show that coffee containing high amounts of caffeine increases urine output within 2 to 3 hours after ingestion, more than coffee containing lower amounts. Break-related stories. What happens to your energy and hydration when you drink cloud coffee? 6 serious side effects of drinking soda every day. How much water is in coffee? Break coffee is mostly water. The water content in a cup of coffee can vary depending on the coffee bean type, degree of roast, light versus dark, brewing method, and the coffee-to-water ratio. Break, for example, a shot of less than /speak espresso contains less water than drip coffee, and light roast coffee beans tend to have higher concentrations of caffeine than dark roast beans. Break. On average, water accounts for 98% of the total volume of the standard 6-ounce cup of brewed coffee. This means a 6-ounce cup of coffee contains about 5.88 ounces of water. Although coffee can contribute to your daily fluid intake, plain water is still your best bet for staying hydrated. Break. Why does coffee cause dry mouth? Break. Contrary to popular belief, dry mouth after drinking coffee isn't due to dehydration. Coffee contains tannins and number 148, compounds responsible for coffee's bitter flavor and dry mouth effects. Tannins bind to proteins in saliva, making it thicker and less effective at lubricating your mouth, leading to a dry mouth sensation. Break. Can you stop coffee's diuretic effects? Break. If you're a regular coffee drinker and limit your intake to less than 400 milligrams of caffeine daily, coffee likely won't dehydrate you. But if you drink a lot of coffee and are concerned about hydration, you can offset any fluid loss and stay hydrated. Here's how. Break. Choose coffee with a lower caffeine content. Caffeine is the substance in coffee that causes diuresis, increased urine output, so drinking coffee with a lower caffeine content can help reduce its diuretic effects. Decaf and half-caf coffee are good options. You can also brew your coffee at home, adding a smaller amount of coffee grounds per cup of water.Drink water throughout the day. Drink plenty of fluids to counteract the potential fluid loss from coffee. Water is the best choice for hydration, but you can also drink other liquids, such as milk, tea, and juice. Know your limits. If you're sensitive to caffeine or notice that you're peeing a lot more after drinking it, consider reducing your coffee intake or opting for lower caffeine coffee options. Choose your coffee wisely. Some types of coffee contain more caffeine than others. Light roast coffee beans generally contain slightly higher amounts of caffeine than dark roast beans. Pace your consumption. Drinking multiple cups of strong coffee within a short period can intensify its diuretic effects. Aim to pace your daily consumption to avoid losing too much fluid. Compared to coffee, is tea more hydrating? Compared to coffee, tea is generally considered to be more hydrating because it contains less caffeine. Caffeine amounts in tea vary, depending on the type of tea, be less than /speaking method, and steeping time. Here's a breakdown of caffeine content per 8-ounce serving of coffee and tea. Beverage caffeine: coffee 95 mg, black tea 48 mg, green tea 29 mg, oolong 38 mg, herbal tea caffeine-free. Overall, tea is a good source of hydration, especially if you choose a tea with a low caffeine content, such as green tea or herbal tea. You can also reduce tea's caffeine content by steeping it for a shorter time. How to tell if you're dehydrated. Dehydration occurs when your body loses more fluids than you consume. Signs and symptoms of dehydration include feeling thirsty, dark-colored urine, decreased urination, dry mouth and lips, headache, fatigue, dizziness or lightheadedness, dry skin. Causes of dehydration. Coffee isn't likely to dehydrate you. However, factors that cause the body to lose fluids more quickly than you can replace them might. Common causes of dehydration include excessive sweating, vomiting, diarrhea, not drinking enough fluids, frequent urination, usually due to certain illnesses or medications. RxCardClub.com. Get a free prescription drug card and save up to 80% on prescription drugs. Less than /speak.